Braxton, I'm in a sad
Brian,
mood today.
you're in a sad. I was sad mood yesterday.
Well, maybe not a sad mood, but I'm in a I want to shit on things mood, man. not
Um,
not literally.
I mean, if that's the mood you're in, that's probably the thing you want to do.
Well,
So feel free
because
to explain yourself.
it's not necessarily. I don't know, man.
You
Because
don't necessarily want to shit people
no,
on people.
maybe I do. Can you be my counselor for a minute?
Yeah, let's go.
Talk me
Okay,
through this,
let
man.
me channel my inner Frasier.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, life's been hard, right? We've all been quarantined for what, like 160 days or something like that. Time
Yeah.
has been crawling, going slow, and the hope dies at one point or another. And once that hope dies, you just are in a fit of rage and anger. And I feel no better way but to talk about all the things that we hate about monsters and Dungeons and Dragons, as well as the terrifying things that we experience and run into in Dungeons and Dragons.
You mean every time I take a step as a character in your session,
Mm-hmm.
all of the things that want to kill me on every 2
What
seconds?
you fear around every corner. And when you're in a dungeon crawl, here we go. When you're in a dungeon crawl, the things that terrify you the most that could be lurking around that corner, what's making the noise in our intro, things like that.
I'm pretty sure that's just a dragon, but I get what you mean.
Yeah, okay, well,
It's fine. Sometimes these things aren't even
don't
like,
test me.
lurking
I
around
told you,
corners, man.
I'm in a rough mood. Okay, don't
Hey,
test me.
oh,
Man.
hey, I'm the counselor here. Don't beat me. I'm just the messenger.
Okay.
I'm not here to give you the solutions. I'm here to guide you to the solutions that
Okay.
you think are best.
I like that.
Except in this situation, the things that I don't like are the stuff that I wouldn't want to meet at the corner store on a Tuesday. These are objective truths.
Right.
So don't dispute anything I say here. And it's all taken as martial law. And this will be written in the next source material.
I'm gonna be honest. I have studied as a counselor. I don't know if this is exactly according to the book.
This is exactly according to the book, and also what's
Okay.
according to the book is the fact that I am Braxton.
And well, you are Braxton. I was about to say he's Braxton. Everyone knows he's Braxton now. I'm Ryan.
He's Ryan.
This is the dungeon crawl.
We were trying to record when we started this, and Ryan was messing up. So I felt like
Sorry,
I felt the need to make him to humble myself and prove that I'm a flawed being by
Yeah.
messing up the intro
That's
for probably
right,
the
man.
50th time that I've done it. Because what do you know? Today's the 50th episode.
What do you know, man?
Wow.
But I don't know if I believe you anymore because
Listen,
last time you told me
I counted this time.
Okay, well, last time you told me there was some big anniversary. Turns out it was a month later.
Listen, I'm in the game of being thorough this time around. I went through, for you, our listeners, and Ryan, a little less so Ryan, the entire monster manual, all of them, every single monster in alphabetical order. Here to pick the ones that I don't want to go like on a dinner date with, the ones that I don't want in my campaign. If I know they're here, I'm looking at Ryan and going, you did not. I'm not fighting this thing right now.
But you
These
will
no.
be having a steak night with it.
I will.
Yeah.
Some of these guys may, they got some big mouths.
Yeah, they'll
They
wine and
might,
dine you, man.
Though, ooh, especially this one. Okay, I don't. There's some guys here. I don't know if you want to get straight into it. I think you also picked some monsters this time around.
I picked 4-ish monsters that I do not want to ever use in my campaign because I either think they're poorly designed or just not fun or boring. So
And you on up to me, didn't you? You went through more source materials than I did.
But I didn't grab I actually contradicted myself in one of mine, saying that they got it better in a later book.
Oh,
Most of them are from the monster manual itself because it's the most basic of creatures, and it kind of got better. Though, if I want to do a shout out here, the best monsters that I've ever experienced in Dungeons and Dragons for all levels of play is the Creature Codex and Tome of Beasts by
All right.
Kobold Press.
we'll probably try to throw that on our tweeters too.
Definitely, it's
We
so
do that.
good, so very good. I actually got a book
if you-
recently. I can't recall where it's from. I think it's from Nord Games called Ultimate Bestiary: The Dreaded Accursed, and it's all about the undead, and it's very good.
If you're like me, as you've learned, I'm the type of person that is pretty darn lazy when they're prepping stuff, and I sit down when I want to write something. Don't laugh. I'm admitting it. You don't need to rub it in. When I'm prepping something, I sit my little butt down. I got my iPad in front of me. And I'm like,
Mhm.
all things
Cute.
flew through my brain now. I will write the best campaign in this instant currently with this pen. Nothing comes to me. That's because I don't sit down and just read a monster manual and have the codex in my brain. Because
Yeah.
the things you think of when you run through these monsters, you're like, I can make an entire thing around
Some
this guy.
plot hooks about this guy, plot hooks about that guy.
So I think
That's
we
what
need
makes
to
a good
can
monster, though. To contradict
That's-
what we're talking about today, what makes a good monster is A, can use mechanically well in combat, but also B, gives the dungeon master lots of cool lore pieces to create a very nice quest line for.
I do need to set the fact,
Okay.
the story straight. That
Yeah.
I do not think these are
Bad?
bad monsters. I just don't want to experience them as a player.
Yeah.
Like my worst nightmare.
Braxton
I would
just
say.
getting roasted because we saw one of his creatures. And, yeah.
I told you that you were probably going to hate me for these.
No, I'm not hating.
Yes.
Now, do we want to go into yours first from the player's point of view? I think we should. I'll end with my shitting later. We'll start with yours.
You're just avoiding it.
No, well, mine's gonna be shorter than yours, definitely. Or
Should we start short and sweet?
Well, no, we could spice yours in later, or we could spice mine in later. Since it's only a couple.
All right.
We'll do a couple of yours. We'll do half of yours, then we'll do some of mine.
Well, last class I told you you needed to bring some materials from home. Did you bring them?
Yeah.
All right, so I got nice. You guys know that sound.
Yeah, everyone knows
sweet,
that sound.
Sweet sound of number rocks. Love them. So if you take your number rock with the 10 on it, well, some of them have, a lot of them have 10 on it, but the one that goes from 1 to 10.
All right, I got it.
The D20 as it is known. I've got 10 monsters here.
You want me to get the D20 or the D10?
The D10, please.
Okay. Give me mixed signals here, man.
Just give me a roll.
All right.
We'll talk about whichever one.
That is a big ol' 3.
3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, you're gonna hate me.
Okay, we're starting off strong then. I like that.
Starting off strong. So this guy, you'll notice a theme for monsters that I dislike here, are ones that I do not understand how you're supposed to get rid of these guys. I just don't. There's like 2 or 3. I don't. What do you do? This could be a nice story. Like it could end well in a story-focused setting or a campaign or a module. I don't know how you're supposed to kill this guy. He's strong as hell. He's a 19th level spellcaster who's immune to necrotic stuff and poison. Can't be exhausted. Can't be frightened. He's crazy motherfunster. Challenge level 18. The Death Knight.
The Death Knight.
I don't want to go on a date with this guy. Swipe left.
Well, he looks super cool. Very edgelord-esque.
He's very edgelord, and I love Death Knight. So you got the one that's in the Fire Emblem Three Houses. You just take Listy and you go pew pew with her magic spells, and he's dead. That's the only example I have for you guys right now. But he's cool. He's got some fun things.
Yeah,
he's
mechanically
got magic resistance.
and lore-wise, you'd like this guy because it's all about kind of eldritch power.
Yeah,
literally,
so
it says
basically,
it on the sheet.
Yeah, eldritch. I saw it. I was like, this is really cool, and I was all about it. And then you'll see. So, as an example, say you've got a really cool sword dude or a military leader, somebody that lived proudly and they fail at something and they were a knight. Eventually, if they have something they kind of need to get closure on or something they didn't quite get to do before they died, for the example here, we're talking about Lord Soth. Soth found no rest in death. So he became a Death Knight. Because, just what you do. So he unlocks his eldritch power, and he can now command the dead, and he can cast things like Compelled Duel, which is really cool. Hold Person, Banishment, Destructive Wave, and lots of other stuff. He's got multi-attacks. My favorite thing he's got, and right now you're actually like, man, this guy, does he like long walks on the beach? Check. Does he like, all those other things in that song? Pina coladas.
You can't give him a kiss, though. There's no mouth. At least
you can't give him.
We can see.
You might be able to, but not before he parries your ass because you nasty. So he can add 6 to his AC for one melee attack that would hit him. So to do so, he must have seen the attacker, and he must be also wielding a melee weapon.
That's his reaction.
And he's already got an AC of 20.
Yeah, so that's a 26 AC for one attack every round.
With 180 hit points.
I mean, by the time you're getting this guy, you got multi-attacks galore.
You do. But you're not going to kill him.
Well,
He can't die.
Well, why not?
He cannot die.
Why is that?
A Death Knight can arise anew, even after it's been destroyed, only when it atones for a life of wickedness or finds redemption can it finally escape its undead purgatory. So, where's the mechanic for this?
Yeah,
Actually,
I mean, the fight there would end, and he'd respawn somewhere else, right?
Where?
I don't know, wherever you want.
No, he just arises anew after it's been destroyed. It happens then and there.
Interesting. See, the way I would have it, I would say I would have it come up in like an hour later or so. I wouldn't have it respawn immediately.
It wouldn't be immediately, definitely. Some of the monsters later that I will talk about, this feature freaks me out. What if this thing has been wandering the earth for like 100 years and hasn't found rest yet? What ways are you gonna is the party just fighting this guy gonna solve it?
Well, you could do a side quest or main quest to go help this guy, find out who this guy is, find if maybe it's Lord Soth. Go find out what Lord Soth needs, what he wants, and go help him achieve it. And then he'd disappear instead of attacking you all day long.
I don't know if you'd help him, but maybe the NPC is from his family and you'd bring him. We just want to put you to rest, man. Go to bed. It's time. Been up for 100 years. Sleep. So if you're doing a boss rush, don't throw this guy at your party members, please, because he can't die. You can get rid of him for a second. There's no, I think you can't turn undead on this guy, I don't think. Yeah, you can't do that.
No.
You can't just do certain things and get rid, you might be able to get rid of him, but he's not going to die unless you quell his heart, So that's why this guy freaks me out.
Well, as much as I love to hear us shit on things, can we ask a friend of ours?
Who would that be?
I want to phone up Kenneth here real fast. He was on our Shadowfell episode, and I want to see what his thoughts are here on the old Death Knight.
Am I just getting a collective shit upon in this moment? Is that what you feel like shitting on people today?
That's what I want, man.
All right, let me press this unmute button to get his ass in here. Kenneth, hello.
Hello.
Doesn't he sound so crisp?
He does. He sounds good.
The crispiest.
Mic.
So,
right, Kenneth, go ahead.
You want me to poop on this guy?
Do it.
You want me to put some
poop on this guy or pooping on me?
Well, maybe don't poop on it. Maybe you love this guy. What's your thoughts on the Death Knight?
My thoughts on the Death Knight. It has a really unique thing that I haven't really seen much in at least monsters in the monster manual. It has a 5th level spell called Destructive Wave, which is usually radiant damage, but for this specific creature, it changes it to necrotic. It has a low parentheses that says necrotic, very flavorful because they were paladins, so they could do that. Depends on how you rule it. I know in older editions of D&D, radiant healing magic hurt undead, but necrotic magic actually healed undead. So if you're using kind of rules like that, you could
no, stop. I do not want to do this.
Heal its allies.
He already can't die. Why doesn't he heal?
So this is a CR 17 creature.
He's a strong boy.
He's pretty strong, but by the time your party, depends on how many people are in your party, are fighting this guy, he's not that beefy. He has 180 HP, which if you have a paladin or rogue, they can chew through that. Its AC is pretty good.
That's the average, though.
He's
got
average.
a 20 in con.
Yeah, but how many
if
other
you rolled
people?
a 19d8,
how many
plus 95?
Braxton, as you as a DM, and maybe we ask Kenneth this question too. How many times do you roll your own hit points for these guys? 9 times out of 10 will use the hit points.
I won't, but if you're doing a dungeon if you're doing a dungeon crawl, shout out.
He said the name.
I think it's really fun to up the stakes or lower the stakes. Ask your player in that session 1, can I roll random hit die? It might make it a lot harder or a lot easier. Add some uncertainty to it.
Yep.
For those metagamers that have played a buttload of D&D, they know health points. This will add some uncertainty.
I don't roll, even if I do change the hit points, I just say, okay, this guy's going to be a little stronger than these other guys. He's got 20 extra hit points.
Yeah, I just kind of enjoy the randomness just a little bit.
Okay, all right.
It's maybe an impossible counter becomes doable, but they don't know it, and they feel real badass for being able to do it. You don't tell them.
You break their spirit and tell them, yeah, I made that easy for you, by the way.
All right. Do you get any other spicy thoughts for this guy?
Yeah, my take on Death Knights, first off, Love them.
Swipe right or swipe left?
Definitely swipe right as a DM.
Oh,
Also
boy.
swipe right as a player because
Bruh.
here's the thing. Think it keeps coming back, right? If you kill it, you're like, yeah, we got rid of that guy. Couple sessions, 10 sessions later, you see this figure on like a flaming horse or a skeletal horse off in the distance. You're like, what is that? You look closer and you see the same visage under the helm or like the same plate of armor. You're like, what? I thought we killed him, man. And so I think Death Knights
Very
make really good.
Rakshasa-esque.
They make very good either main big bad evil guys, like they're commanding an undead army, or they can make like really good mini bosses that like maybe if they really want to redeem themselves, you can have like a little redemption arc for them.
Well, it's a cool, because a lot of villains, we talked about this on our villain episode, kind of get a quick hurrah, then they're dead. This guy's a very easy way to say, all right, I definitely want to have a recurring villain. This will be my recurring villain.
Yeah.
Without
Death
a
Knights
doubt.
are always hard to get rid of. The thing I envision, if you're doing this on like a one-off of a village that they could encounter, somewhere where their commanding officer who's from this town had some unfinished business there or something, like a duel he didn't quite get to have with somebody who's long dead, so now he just can't come to terms with it. You pass by the town, you guys are strong adventurers, maybe you can try to figure it out, investigate into his backstory, find the thing that'll let him rest, and you take care of it then and there.
Or even more fun, you link it together with the characters, with the player's backstory.
Damn.
One last thing I want to say about the Death Knight.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I really don't like parry for one reason.
Yeah, I've never really liked the parry reaction either.
It's one attack. Like if you're fighting a monk, they block one attack. They have 3 other ones. If you're fighting a fighter at this level, they block one attack. What I would do, I would probably take out command as a spell slot. Really don't like command and replace it with shield.
Don't do it. Okay, good.
And
What were you
just
thinking?
I thought he was going to add Dispel Magic.
Oh,
Oh, he
no.
already has it. God.
Hey, he's got it already,
Ooh,
man.
swiping left twice on this guy.
as a DM, love
What
this
is-
guy.
Oh, gosh.
Great,
Yeah,
great,
banishment, too,
great.
I like that.
Great encounter for a fight and great role play material as well. So if you guys ever get a chance, use them. Use the Death Knight. Use them.
Kenneth.
Make the Lich King.
Listen. No, don't do that. We'll find out about that in a second. So, okay, I wanted to see everybody's faces there. Ooh, spoilers. Kenneth, just like I swiped left on the Death Knight for fighting him in my campaign, I'm swiping left on you for now.
Oh
So
my
goodbye.
God.
You can't
You're
speak anymore.
Kicking him out of
He's
here.
been muted. He'll come back maybe when we need his help.
Okay.
When we needed it most, Professor Oak will say,
You
"There
left
is
us."
the time and the place. Time is now. Get your dice back.
Okay.
Just don't roll a 3 again, please, because that doesn't
Alright.
make for good entertainment."
Yeah, I was thinking
Alright.
we could do an episode on our favorite monsters, but that's kind of what our longer form episodes are for.
Didn't we do that?
No, we did our favorite for early level.
Oh, bye, Kenneth.
Oh, he's like gone.
Hi, Kenneth. I'm just kidding. Roll your dice.
Hey, that is a 2.
Okay, what do we got next? Oh, this guy's fun, but I don't. Oh boy, this is not going to be as long-winded. And I almost put all of the monsters that are similar to this guy in this, but I decided he's going to be my only one.
Okay.
So, all right. Imagine you are. Let's see. What
All
is he? What does it look like?
Closing my
Imagine
eyes.
you're a player character who loves like cloaks.
I love.
I'm just kidding. This is actually not this guy. I'm incorrect. A different guy.
Not the cloaker.
You're in a cave, okay? You're in a cave. You're a guy who has dark vision. You can see in the
Yeah.
dark. Dark doesn't really scare you. You're good. There's some stalactites, stalagmites hanging around. They look real nice.
I do. I could probably climb on them.
DM's talking about them a lot for some reason. You do a perception check, you
I
roll
see.
20. Nothing. Everything's fine. You don't see anything out of the ordinary because these guys are indistinguishable from stalactites or stalagmites.
Right.
Indistinguishable. You cannot
Can't tell the difference.
distinguish them. That's how I would rule this. And then at some point, something falls on your face and sucks up your head. Nice, tasty. Oh, and now your party members can't see because it is completely dark within a 15-foot radius of magical darkness that cannot be seen within, anything. Not even dark vision. You cannot penetrate it at all. And your brain's getting eaten, and you're about to die, and you're suffocating.
They got
And you're
suction
dead.
cups. Yeah, it's cute.
You just fought the Dark Mantle.
I also want to point out that I can now tell that Braxton's list is alphabetical because this is one page up from the Death Knight.
Well, I went through the entire thing. These guys
know,
are right next to each other.
I feel like you could have rearranged, but you didn't know we were going to
You're rolling a random dice number. This is your fault.
Okay, all right.
This is your fault.
I'm back it up.
Okay, all right.
I went through the entire thing.
This is the shit on monsters. Don't shit on Ryan Day, okay?
Okay, you were shitting on me just a second ago.
Okay,
Listen.
all right. Then we're shitting on each other. That's it, man. That's it.
You rolled the 2.
All right, that's
You
fair.
rolled the
Okay,
2.
back to the Dark Mantle. Now, after a certain level, these guys are not good, right?
Right.
But early level dungeon crawling, gorgeous.
You guys are dead. How do you...
Not you guys.
How do you interact? How do you beat this?
One of them's dead.
Yeah, but like, if this lands on somebody's head, they're like, and your players are not metagaming.
Yes,
that player's
but
going to die.
that's the hard part. Is the metagaming.
Because they're going to try to say, well, I swing at the darkness. It's a 15-foot radius. Do you actually know how big that is?
Now, you could say...
That's a 30-foot
the
sphere of magical darkness.
The player that's being suffocated can make noise, can, hit stuff on the ground and whatnot, walk around.
The target's blinded and unable to breathe.
Yeah, you can
I guess you
still
can
move when you
muffle
breathe.
through it, but
Yeah, you kick stuff, kick a rock.
You're now a kid. You're a squid. This is like a nightmare Splatoon here.
It would have to come up down to, I would say as a DM, to the player's ingenuity. What exactly they say they're doing and how they're acting. But yeah, metagaming would be tough for this specifically. But I mean, they aren't very smart creatures.
They're not.
They just
and they can miss.
Now here's the thing. Include, let's say you have a party of 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a party of 5 and a cat, and and you have 5 of these dark mantles set up.
No.
Plop off on all your dudes. That could be it, man.
That is it, probably. So it's crush, +5 to hit, and they have a 16 strength, so that's +3. One creature hit.
Does take a 13 strength check to take it off.
13 strength check to take it off. So that's not that high, but if you're in a party of the average D&D campaign, most of them are not playing strength-based classes.
Or you just got a bunch of, wizards or something.
Yeah, and they're like, bro, I've got dark vision, and the DM's like, you can't see. Now, the dark vision only lasts for 10 minutes, but you're going to suffocate before that unless your constitution's like 1.5 billion. But low levels, I'm pretty damn sure this guy is going to kill whoever it lands on.
Yeah.
Your player's going to say, well, I swing into the darkness.
But if they're already...
disadvantage.
If they're encountering these guys, they're already more than likely in a dangerous area. It's usually found in the Underdark or the Shadowfell.
Yeah.
They probably know what they're getting into when they're in those dangerous areas.
In our party, what would happen is a giant fireball at the center of this darkness.
Yeah.
And that would probably take care of it, to be honest. It's only got 22 hit points.
Definitely take care of it.
So, there's probably a lot of things to take care of here, but they do have echolocation and blind sight. So they can drop on
it's
you.
Like
they miss, you're fine.
It's like a poor man's roper, kind of.
Yeah. I just don't want to run into this guy because I know it would fall on my head.
Yeah.
It would happen. And that's not a first kiss I want to have. Ryan,
you're kind of strong,
though.
though.
Am I?
I don't know.
I think he has a 0 strength. Carrion does, my player.
Maybe.
But are we phoning a friend again?
Yeah, I want to hear his thoughts on the Dark Mantle. I would imagine they're probably going to align pretty similarly here, but...
All right. Okay, so I want to hear Kenneth's thoughts. Would you smooch or pass, Kenneth? Let me know.
Surprisingly, I would pass.
Damn.
Really?
No smooches.
Okay, so there it says they're akin to bats if you read the little intro. So they have echolocation.
Doesn't really look like one.
They don't. Not at all. They're demon squids. So they would have to like make noise or something, like just little clicks to like see the area around them. They're blind if they don't they're blind outside of 60 feet. But the reason why I don't like these guys is because it seems more like a gotcha. Like, you didn't check the stalagmites.
Yeah.
It seems like a gotcha. It doesn't seem fun.
How would you rule the indistinguishable from a cave formation?
You can't tell.
You cannot tell, no matter what your roll is, right?
No matter what your roll is.
Maybe
maybe
like
on a nat 20. But It just
No.
seems
Indistinguishable.
also
Well, you could
since,
say something seems off, or you can hear clicking coming from these stalactites, something like that.
like bat-like clicking.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that does work. Yeah, because they do use echolocation. Okay.
But with spellcasters, you can't cast any spells so these are on your head because you're suffocated. So if they have a somatic, like verbal component, clerics can't cast spells because I believe every cleric spell has a verbal component to them. So you just can't.
Dude, if you want to be the worst DM ever and your
Or the
players
best.
are captured in a cave, have your villain tie them up and just put these guys on their heads.
That's
Done.
gruesome.
Dead.
I just don't like them because they have an AC of 11 and 22 hit points, and they have a 2 intelligence but a 10 wisdom. So they're smart enough to have like, okay, this thing's hitting me, I'm gonna like fly away. So like one maybe 2 hits, and the encounter's already over with them. If they
Can this fly? No, it can't.
No,
they do
I
have
think
flying
it-
speed.
I mean, I think
they have
these
a
would
30
be-
foot. Yeah, they have a 30-foot flying speed. So they're more
I
like
hate this.
They're more like, hey, that's easy prey, and if like
Yeah.
if they don't immediately kill or like blind or confuse the thing that they're going for, and the rest of the party gang
they're
up
out.
on them, they're dipping. So it's mostly like a gotcha thing. Like, hey, you walked into the cave, surprise! It doesn't
could
feel
be
fun.
It could be a good way to keep the party on their toes, or to
But-
have a short, small encounter getting into a longer.
Dark
dungeon
Mantl's
or
not
something.
looking for a lasting commitment. He'll suck
Or
your
just-
face
Not a
and
lasting-
leave you dry.
Not a
Ecological-
lasting commitment.
Ecological stuff.
I just
All
think
right.
there's something there's something better that you could use.
Definitely.
If you want like a surprise attack, but Dark Mantle's not it in my book.
There's another thing similar to this. I forget the name of, but it just pierces through things if it falls from the ceiling. It's really weird, and they can crawl. It's so scary.
Oh.
But I decided this was the one I would put on here. But Kenneth, thank you for your input there. You're getting 2 swipe lefts. Actually 3. Ryan, you're swiping
Jesus.
left.
No, I'm Kenneth.
No,
Oh.
are you swiping left on Dark Mantle or swiping right? What are you doing?
Would I use it in a campaign?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I might use it.
I
too,
might
actually.
use it just to show the ecological areas of the place that they're in.
That's like the
I don't
Or
want to
like-
run into it, but I might use it.
Like to show that's a Shadowfell crossing or something nearby. That's how this thing got in. I don't know.
that's like the one thing I would use it for. Would be like, hey, there's like an ecosystem here. That's like the only thing I would use it for.
Yeah, ecosystem.
I like squids. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, Kenneth, get out of here. I'll call you in a second.
Braxton, you muted yourself.
Bruh. I am. It's fine. You can still hear me.
Idiot.
Listen,
played.
today is the day where we shit on me, apparently. Kenneth, stop. I see you laughing. Roll your dice.
Unbelievable.
Roll your dice.
How was I supposed to know? You had muted yourself. Okay.
Oh, man.
It's a big
What'd you
boy
get?
7.
All right. Okay, so if the Death Knight was a 3,
Mm-hmm.
then this one's a 4.
Okay.
This one's a 5. That's a
Yeah.
6.
Okay. Now we're
My
gonna
7.
count
Ooh,
with the
this
dungeon
is my
crawl.
this is my least favorite one on the list.
Okay. All right.
Now, there are those of you out here who have a quirky taste in monsters. You see the really creepy, weird, kind of ugly, cute ones. It's
Flump?
very like, no, it's not a flump. Flump's not.
No,
Jamie
I mean
would
that's
murder
the,
me.
that's, no, I'm saying that's the cute one you're talking about, or one of the cute kind of creepy.
It's one of them, yeah.
Quirky monsters. Yeah.
This one's borderline like, I don't ever want to see this in my life ever. So, Ryan,
Okay.
I am a very opinionated person. I dislike a lot of things in D&D,
paint me
but
a
I'm going to
picture.
challenge you. What are my 2 least favorite things to have happen to my character in combat?
Poison.
Yeah.
And if something takes away, like brings your strength, your intelligence lower until you go on for a long rest.
All right, yeah. I would say that too. You got one of them right. And then
Oh.
lateral movement is paralyzed.
Oh, okay.
So-
Okay.
So this guy also does that, but he can also grapple and restrain you.
All right. Okay.
So-
Kinda narrowing it down for me.
Kind of, but the fact that the wording, the poisoned target is paralyzed and it can repeat the saving throw to like get out of it. Just being poisoned and paralyzed, just to
It's a fun
no.
combo.
And there's a flavor text here that says, "Our intrepid rogue climbed up the shaft to secure a rope. There was a gasp, and the rope fell. We never saw her again. An adventurer's account of a Grell attack in Kyber, published by the Corbane Chronicle. This thing is a floating brain with 10 tentacles that can poison and paralyze you.
Yeah.
And it can bind you. And it's a brain with a beak.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I mean, it also only speaks Grell, by the way.
That also got me. Like, laugh. What even is Grell? Who speaks that?
Well, it's as it says in the thing, they're alien predators that group other creatures into 3 categories: edibles, inedibles, and the great eaters, which are the creatures that eat the Grell.
So the thing I like about these guys as a DM is that they are pretty smart. If these adventurers wander into it, well, yeah, they got a +1 to intelligence. So if they have some people they would like to tromp on and eat as they walk into their cave or dwelling, say they know there are some more powerful beings in this area, they'll let the adventurers fight those things, get tired, and then they'll come in and poke and stab you when they get the chance and jump on you.
It's similar to the last creature that you talked about too. These guys are also blind.
Yeah,
they can tell what's going on around them by like the electricity currents in their area.
So they're cool, but they're just like air jellyfish with a bird beak, and they're apparitions, and they poison and paralyze you in very cowardish ways. They are not my favorite.
I mean, you could say these guys maybe came from the Far Realm, right?
They
like
could,
Far
but they
Realm
don't.
stuff.
They don't speak. They don't speak deep speech.
That's fair. That's a good point. They do only speak
Get out of
Grell.
here. They only speak Grell. They are immune to lightning, and they're only a challenge rating of that Grell thing is so funny. Challenge rating of 3. It's not strong, but I mean, if you get poked by one of these guys, little poker boys in the back, you're not gonna have a good time.
Yeah,
Especially if your party's not
the
a lot.
DC is very low. It's 11.
Yeah, you can save.
That is
pretty
very
easily.
low.
I don't know, man. They just look so creepy.
They do. I mean, I imagine the covens that they're called, they group together. I think that'd be quite a sight
that was the
to
worst
see
part.
floating around.
That was the worst part about it. These guys typically they have like a flock. You know, imagine looking up, you see the V of birds flying around. It's actually not birds. Well, there's a beak at least, so it's partially birds. But you see like flapping tentacles that are zip zapping everything, and they're squawking and growl from their brain heads.
Yeah, what does that even sound like?
It sounds like growl. Let me tell you, that is what it sounds like. There's not much to these guys other than the fact that they poison and target and paralyze you at the same time.
You know, I just read this page 172 in the Monster Manual. I would swipe left on these guys because I would rather rework them into being somehow related to like an Elder Brain or something for a Mind Flayer and use them in that way instead of how they have them written here.
Yeah, you can make it like a bird or something got infected by it.
Because it'd be a fun way to
brain thing.
Sure, yeah, it'd be a fun way to kind of introduce Mind Flayers in the area at an earlier level.
Yeah, hell, even like homebrew that. That sounds cool.
Yeah,
I like that. You know, Kenneth, this guy's short. We're gonna bring you in here for this one. Are you swiping left? Or are you swiping right? I actually unmuted myself again. Hold on. Okay, Kenneth, come in here.
Go.
I think, by themselves, like
I know. Okay,
It's
hold
a
on.
tough one. Yeah,
I know for a fact, Jamie, your girlfriend who does our social media stuff, would love these things.
Oh, definitely she would. I think if you're fighting one Grell, swipe left. But if you're fighting like a group of them, I think you swipe
Yeah, you got
right.
the coven.
Because if you're like in a dungeon, now this is very situational, but if you're in a dungeon and there's like a pit trap, you try to jump over, and they're like nesting above the pit trap because they have a hover of 30 feet and they have a reach of 10 feet. So if they're like can get a situation for themselves, and like Braxton said, they have a 12 intelligence, so they're smarter than the average person. If they can get a situation of themselves where they can stay out of the reach of most party members, like over a pit trap or like
Especially at like an early level.
Especially at an early level. I think a group of these things, a group of 5 or 6 of these things, like challenge level 3, that is like disgusting. Again, the con save is pretty low. It's 11. Like most people, especially fighters, are going to save that.
One bad roll.
One bad roll, you're poisoned for a minute.
Well, think about this. Go ahead.
I like I conceptually I like them as a creature. I don't like their story again, like just homebrew it, or like they're from the far realms, like Ryan said.
I like
really like
Ryan's
that.
idea is really cool.
Or like they're a chimera because they're a brain with like a beak. So
Yeah.
they're a chimera. So a person created them.
It's just so weird.
I like them conceptually, but as a group, I like them. If you're gonna use one or two, to just go ahead and swipe left. They're not They're interesting, but they're not like you at level 3. There's
They're
a
birds
lot
with tentacles that poison and paralyze you with a brain.
There's
better things
beaks.
for this level.
at
better
level
things.
CR3 is very crowded with creatures. So you could
let me
use something better.
pose you this real quick.
Pose it.
So Ryan set a precedent as like these guys could be mind flare underlings. Imagine you've got a pitfall trap that was mentioned. Get the inspiration from the little quote I read from their page. You've got the pitfall there, and you do a perception check, and maybe they get like a 9. You're like, oh, there's some ropes over the pitfall trap. You could probably swing over them. Your fighter grabs it, and it immediately goes catatonic
It's
if
like
they fail
one of
to
the
save.
the Half-Life guys, like suck you up.
Yeah, just like that. Now, your player falls and fails against that relatively low save, and lands either face first, maybe luckily on the other side of the pitfall trap because they swung far enough because their save was high, or they fall in.
You could even just like whisper in the rogue's ear or something, say, all right, make a save for me real quick, and then they fail and say, okay, Jeff falls.
Everybody's like, what?
What
Jeff's really strong. He's got a really good grip strength. In the craziness, everybody's freaking out about this.
Oh my god!
Have a bunch of other Grells sneak out and poke everybody, and then the mind flayers come up and pick everybody up.
Okay.
A trap.
Yeah, because that's what it's for. It's to get more thralls for the mind flayers. Yeah.
There you go. All right, Kenneth, you swiped left. We're getting you out of here.
Damn, he didn't even get to say bye.
No bye. So, Ryan, I'm worried.
Yeah.
You've rolled 3 numbers.
Really?
What
It's
are
only
the
been 3.
chances? Yeah, it's only been 3.
That
Got a lot to
flies,
say.
man.
Oh, we do have news. I don't think I have any news. Do you have news? Do you want to go? Do you have news?
Nah, dude, I don't have any news. I'm in a shitty mood,
I don't have
man.
any news. We got too much stuff going here. News is more dungeon crawl for you today. Let's continue. Roll me your number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Bad news. I got a 3.
7. Keep going.
Okay. All right.
You
4.
can just pick a number. 4? Okay. All right. So
Yep.
if 3, oh, you're going.
So it's after
You're
the
gonna
death knight.
hate me. You're gonna hate me so much.
This is the one I know. Is it the
this
one we
is
already know?
no. This is the one that I feel like you're gonna hate me for the most.
Oh, well, again, you're not saying these are bad. These are ones you don't want to face, which means, according to what Braxton says, means I need to quickly include these into my game.
Please, dear God, no. Especially not this one. This falls into the I don't know how to kill this guy category. So you know how a lot of villains in D&D campaigns, what's a lot of their big goals? Those ones that want to
Take
reach
over the world.
unlimited power, and well, yeah. But in order to do that, they might have to become a more stronger version of themselves.
Like immortal or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Do
know,
they have a
what's-
laboratory?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
They might. I mean, this thing definitely has an area where he sticks in. I feel like,
Okay.
have I ever we fought floating heads before, right?
Floating heads? Oh,
Yeah, like some sort of-
Varghouls? Yeah.
Something like that. That's not what this is. You could mistake it for one, but
Okay.
it's a lot stronger. And I'm just gonna come out right and say it. It's a Demilich.
Oh.
These boys
Okay,
are
so
not
there's
fun.
this 3-page section is like Braxton's least favorite area in the Monster Manual. The Dark
It's pretty
Mantle, the
fucking-
Death Knight, and the Demilich.
I didn't have a good time on that page at all. Let me tell
Apparently
you.
not, man.
No. So these guys, first and foremost, a thing that just bothers me a lot is even after a Demi-Lich, or a Lich is reduced to a Demi-Lich state, its psyche survives. So you have a Lich, you beat it, and it turns into this.
Okay.
As long as it's phylactery, is that what that's called?
Yep.
Phylactery is intact. You cannot kill the Demi-Lich. So, you can kill it if you get rid of the phylactery. Chances
Yeah.
of you doing that not
Well, it's like a
not
with a
gonna
Lich, too.
Yeah. So it can also return to a Lich if it sacrifices one soul to the phylactery. So this just made Liches even more of bitches than they were, my friend. I don't, and it's a small head. This guy is sneaky.
Well, I mean, it is weaker, quote unquote, than a regular Lich.
It has a challenge rating 18.
Yeah, Lich is 20 to 1.
It's got 3 legendary resistances.
Okay, Lich has 3 of those as well.
Yeah, he's just a strong boy, and he doesn't die until you kill the phylactery, which I'm sure the DM would give you an adequate method of doing.
Well, you probably learn where it is. That's the whole point of the Lich is you got to find out where the phylactery is, track it down, and then finish them off.
So talk to me then. If you kill a Lich and it's turned into a Demi-Lich,
that's when it gets
would
nasty.
would this happen immediately?
I mean, depends on if you've set up the Demi-Lich arc of this Lich. If you've got it all set to go, then yeah, why not?
Oh man.
I wouldn't say it would come immediately to come kill them,
Do you like these guys?
Liches? Or Demi-Lich specifically?
Demi-Lich.
Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would use these in my game. 100%.
So would you use it as a Lich that's been defeated and hasn't been able to find a soul, or would you use it as so you wouldn't just have Lich, Demi-Lich?
No, I'd have it be like a type of thing that if it's left alone, then it'll slink back down and kind of go back into a peaceful existence of its being, of its life. I mean, quote unquote, undead life. But
okay,
I wouldn't have it actively kind of seeking out the adventurers.
So these guys freak me out because I know if I had a Demi-Lich layer and my players ran into this would be one of the most crafty motherfunsters in the world. Because he's a skull. He can hide everywhere.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess you could. Obviously, it depends on the type of Lich that then became this Demi-Lich, but would it want to hide and be crafty like
true.
that?
If it's the Mad Mage of Gvoth, he's a sneaky boy.
Definitely. He
Definitely.
gets around, man.
And he's even got an ability called Avoidance. Oh, that's just for saving throws, though. Do Liches have that, too?
The avoidance one,
Where they can
believe so.
take no damage if the saving throw allows them to take half damage?
No, they have other things that do stuff like that.
Yeah, so these guys are just kind of hard to hit because they got natural 20 or 20 natural armor. I don't know. They're just strong boys that I swipe left.
Yeah, okay.
If they're if it's like a Dark Souls fight and you kill the Lich and then you have to fight the Demi-Lich.
That'd be cool.
Also, what was that in here? Hold on. I think were these the guy where their hit die, they always have max hit die health. So the 80 hit points are not what they have. They have 32 D4 max totaled. That's somewhere in here. I think that was another big thing that got me.
Well, it's important to note, you just mentioned their hit points is 80, but they have the life drain ability, the life drain action that they can suck the life out of individuals, creatures around them.
Yeah.
Which is what keeps them alive. Just looking at them thinking, okay, 80 hit points, I'll just bring in the warrior and have them take them down, but there is some change. And obviously it can fly, so it could hover above everybody and rain down hell on top of them with their beautiful legendary actions.
If your players do really well against the Lich, like they take no damage and you're dumbfounded.
That's not
toss a Demi-Lich at him.
I mean, but it is weaker. They can take down a Lich, no problem. This Demi-Lich gonna be easy.
Yeah, maybe they just use all their spells and now they got nothing.
Okay, if you bring it right after, that's true.
Yeah, right after, immediately, Dark Souls style. You don't get your slab.
The way I would use this, and I've even written down in my notes, but if I were to ever use these guys, one of the plot hooks I've considered throwing around is having like some ancient ruins that the party's investigating that was the former place of some powerful wizard. And over time, them investigating, they found out that this guy had been experimenting with phylacteries and trying to turn himself into a Lich, and then over time since then, so this happened, eons passed, and he turned himself into a Demi-Lich, or he became a Demi-Lich, and the party uncovered this domain, and the fight ensues.
True. I've said all I've made my peace with these guys.
Yeah,
I'm not so freaky on them anymore. Do we need Kenneth's input here?
Yeah,
we need his expertise.
We always need his expertise, man.
All right, boy. What do you got to say? Is he speaking? Speaking here, Kenneth. Join me.
What is up?
Yes.
So Demi-Liches.
Smooth.
Yeah, right. They do get the maximum hit points. That's in their undead nature. They only have 80 though, and they have a fly speed, but it's 40 or 30 feet hover. And they
Yep.
don't have any spells because they're basically, like you guys said, they're liches that
They're baby
they
lich.
haven't fed their souls, or they forgot to feed their souls. They went crazy. They forgot all their spells. Maybe if your adventurers are going through a dungeon, they're not looking for a lich or anything. Just a lich happened to be there, and just forgot to feed
past.
its phylacteries. Then it comes up, does its stuff. While you guys are talking, I had an idea of like a lich, say like a Sararak or any other lich that you're fighting in your story. They actually have like maybe an entourage of demi-liches. Like they have their phylacteries with them, and they just carry around their phylacteries. They don't feed them souls. Like, why would they do that? They're like, hey, I'm the only lich here. Let's have these demi-liches be like kind of my bodyguards. So you have the lich with one or two demi-liches around them, and that could be like an interesting fight.
A lich with the demi-lich staff.
A demi-lich staff, yeah, or just floating heads with them. Like
Just tossing out the legendary actions.
just tossing it.
No.
Because they don't have any spells.
That's the meat. Yeah,
the
that's the
meat
meat of this, guys,
is the legendary actions and the life drain. So maybe it uses a demi-lich skull to use the life drain ability and siphon the life to themselves and not the demi-lich.
That'd be cool.
I don't like them as creatures themselves unless like I definitely wouldn't make it as like a main creature. They probably stumble upon it or just probably stumble upon it, honestly. Or like I said, like have them as like basically an item, like a glorified magic item.
So I mean, basically, what we've come to with these creatures is change them from the monster manual.
Yes,
Get him out of here.
Make them
Swipe
into
them
your
left. I made a big boo boo with one of my monsters down here.
own. What'd you do?
I missed a point.
A point?
We'll still talk about him though.
Okay.
So
yeah.
do you know the numbers you've picked so far, right?
Sure. Yeah.
2, 3, 4, and 7.
Yes.
So no more rolling the die unless you feel unlucky. Pick a number.
Okay. I rolled 7 twice in a row,
hence
so I'm gonna pick something
thus
else.
muted Kenneth.
I'm going to. Let's just let's start at the beginning. 1.
All right. All right. So these guys are bullying me for these guys before.
Oh. I know which one this is.
They saw the picture. So the sole reason that I have put these pseudo turtle armadillo demon things,
Land sharks. Thank you very much.
land sharks, in this list is because if I were a DM and I had a party that was relatively strong, I would put a metric butt ton of these guys jumping out of the ground like fish in a river, climbing up a waterfall. And it would be the worst sight ever seen by anybody who could ever see.
So who is this? What creature is this?
This is the bullet.
Yeah.
Bullette.
It's a large monstrosity.
The insane amalgamation of a mad wizard's experiment, possibly crossbreeding snapping turtles and armadillos with infusions of demon ichor.
Yeah, so I almost use these guys. I use onkegs instead. Of bullets. I do like the bullets, and I wanted to use them, but I thought onkegs fit a little better. And I even still, I don't know if Max really remembers that encounter, but I even changed what onkegs do. I changed the basic monster manual reading on them. Yeah, because a lot of the basic stuff's not that fun. You always want to add a little extra flair.
Did you make them stronger?
In some ways, but weaker in others.
Because that was one of the most terrifying encounters we've had.
That was a terrifying
Because we
encounter.
just barely, and I for some reason decided that I would be the one to wait until everybody got up the ladder.
Yeah, well, you guys had stopped fighting at that point. You guys were running for your lives.
We ran out, man, because we were in the nest.
Point being, bullets are cool. I like using them if I ever did. They don't have a lair. They just have a hunting territory that they, span and go back and forth and kill things and eat them and whatnot. I like terrorizing the settlers. But I mean, it really does come down to the deadly leap, the scary jump that they do.
The biggest reason why these guys, outside of the scenario I have depicted, anybody who listens to this, and if you're ever in a campaign of mine, You will encounter that at some point. I am sorry. It is going to happen. But the reason I don't like this as a player is the same reason I don't like water encounters.
Okay.
Things that just duck and dive under a surface that you cannot get
the
to.
burrow.
It is not fun to fight. It is cool, but it is annoying as all hell unless your DM plays them in a certain way that allows you to have opportunities to hit them.
Sure. I mean,
So
you
it's
can always
just
hold an
kinda-
action.
They have tremor sense, man. They are land sharks. They go and bite your feet, your toes.
Yeah.
You just got them pedicured.
And
You
even
will
so, these are
hoops.
CR5, which is kind of mid tier ish. And
Yeah, imagine like 20 of them.
yes, but the scary thing is their Deathly Leap is DC 16. That's nothing to scoff at. That's a pretty good
Especially
DC.
at that level.
Especially at that CR. You guys started finding some because you guys are smart. Started finding some CR5 stuff pretty early on.
So what ends up happening with this Deadly Leap is they jump out from the ground or wherever they are and try to land on you, essentially. And if you fail that save, you are landed on and prone.
Yeah.
If you save it, you don't take the damage, I believe.
No, you
which
take
is
half.
bludgeoning. You take half damage, and you get to pick a location that you fall or jump to.
Yeah,
If there
within
is
5
no
feet.
location, within 5 feet, you do get hit, and you are not prone.
Yeah,
But
you
take
don't take the full
half
damage.
damage.
Yeah.
No, but you're still prone. He's going to chomp on you with his
Yeah.
bite.
Kind of
With a
humorous.
4d12 plus 4 bite.
Kind of humorous though. This guy has more hit points than the Dimulich.
His little skull. You just step on him. You know?
It's kind of funny
Just a
though.
little-
With a 17 AC and a speed of 40,
They're fast boys, man. They're going to catch you.
and they can burrow.
They
40
will
feet.
catch you.
Yeah, this is a brutal dude.
And they can jump at least 15 feet apart of the movement. So
Yeah.
they are going to jump on you. Kenneth, would
Yeah,
you
let's hear
let
his
the
thoughts.
bullet
I
jump
didn't know
on
what
you?
it is because he was defending the bullet earlier.
Would you let this guy pounce on you?
You best bet I swipe right on the bullet.
Mm.
This
damn.
boy is chef kiss. Now
Gorgeous.
at CR5 they only have one attack. They don't have multi-attack, but they do have the evasion with burrowing speed. At 40 feet, it can outrun your players. Now they aren't smart. They're wise. They have that survival sense. I really like a group, maybe 2 or 3, herding the
12.
12 of them, herding the characters like to the edge of a cliff or to like a pit that they have like dug out. So
Yes, I have no
the
choice.
characters fall in and they're just like bullet, like going through the ground, like attacking them. But spoilers if you don't want to hear any creature from Rime of the Frost Maiden, the new adventure book coming out. There's going to be snow bullets. And
Oh,
the
boy.
That's
the
cool.
reason being is they wanted to have, as you're trudging through the snow, they wanted the players or the characters to see like mounds of snow like going directly for the group
Yeah, moving
as you're
around.
walking along. Like these guys, Trimmers, the movie Trimmers, that's it. That's these guys. And they're great. I love them. Bullets, can't go wrong. Use them against your players. They'll be terrified of regular open ground forever. And that's what you need to do as a DM, isn't it? Aren't you?
You want to know my favorite idea that I just had
What's
to
up?
like do a non-kill the thing encounter? Like you should always try to give alternative stuff. The cliff Kenneth mentioned. One of your players goes, "There's a cliff. If we can run over there, they might jump over us and land off into the ocean below." And then you try to, get them to go for that. And then you just have like 20 bullets jumping over you, splashing into the water, and you beat the encounter.
Yeah, it's
Very
kind of like
cinematic.
yeah. I like
So
it.
again, as a DM, I would probably use them, but as a character, as a
No, you
as
don't
a
wanna
person who
encounter
tries
this guy.
not to meta game, I would be sweating internally.
bullet
'Cause I'm
racing.
scared.
Now we're talking.
Now we are talking. All right, Kenneth, scoot your bullet out of here. And Ryan, what number you want?
Well, I got a question, man.
Do
Are
you have
we
a question?
able to finish this today?
Should we just like blast him off?
I don't know. I feel like would it be best to have a second episode talking about these other guys because we already
Actually-
blasted to an hour of like what 4?
Honestly, and you have some too. So yeah. Well, you know what? If you want
Have we done 4 or
to
5?
see, we did 5. That was our 5th.
Okay.
So we could do the other 5 next
Yeah,
time, and I have
I like
another
that.
one I could add in that I cut. So okay, that's a good idea. You know
Maybe
what?
Shit on
Good.
2 monsters real quick, and I'll shit on my
Shit
other
on-
2 later.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, so the first one, I don't know, maybe I
hate
should
it.
save this one later. Okay,
All right.
I'm gonna shit on, no, I'll shit on this guy. Whatever, I
Okay.
don't care. We've talked about him before in this podcast. And it's time that this guy got dethroned. So a lot of my hate with, not hate, a lot of my issues with D&D comes once you get to higher levels.
Mhm.
And D&D, at least the basic monster manual, does a very poor job at dealing with these higher level monsters. The Lich should maybe be an exception. I love the Lich. But the majority of stuff just comes down to, okay, this is a lot of numbers to deal with. The Tarask is one creature that I would never
yeah.
use in my campaign, no
I
matter
think it's
what.
fucking dumb.
It is, exactly, it is fucking
That's our
dumb.
one F-bomb this podcast.
Okay,
Oh, damn
sorry.
it, Ryan.
Sorry, two. That's a two we get.
Oh, boy.
It's my issue with the Tarask is it's just, I mean, of course it's dumb. It's got 3 intelligence, but it's just a dumb monster to me. It's just it's the epitome of
Immune to everything.
yeah. It's the
Can't be
epitome of
hurt.
just get crazy with a big fight for your players. I'm sure it could be fun for a certain party, not for the type of games I like to run. For me, I would definitely go for the stuff in Creature Codex, Tome of Beasts, or even the one we shouted out last week, Mythic Encounters. All much better to me for high level play. Even the Shadowfell, Overend's Guide to the Shadowfell, and the other plain book, I'm forgetting what it's called, that they did. They even have a epic level book that is much, much better than just dropping a Tarask into your game, which is terrifying for the Tarask scroll that now exists.
Yeah, so that's the thing I wanted to touch on, too. First off, the reason it's so unbalanced, like late game, is nobody really gets there, and B, you have stacked so many things on the players that if there's a DM crazy enough to want to try to balance around that, they have to be able to alter and edit the monsters anyway, so it's not something they needed to really cater to.
Yeah.
But with that Scroll of Tarask, that I think I am okay with, because it's hilarious. Like,
It is. I don't mind it.
you guys need to stop this low-level guy from getting the Scroll of Tarask, who will literally destroy all of you instantly. It just
but
raises
the Tarask
the
can
stakes
also
super
destroy
high.
him, which is the humorous thing.
Yeah, and that's the one situation.
What makes me laugh though about the Tarask is it's this badass motherfunster with 10, plus 10 strength, 30 strength, and 30 con. But for whatever reason, I don't know who at level 20 that you're fighting, the players are fighting this guy are gonna be using magic missile on this bastard. It has a kind of almost a resistance to magic missile, the reflective carapace. That if it's targeted by this, you have to roll a d6. And a roll 1 to 5, the Tarask is just unaffected.
Well, how strong is Magic Missile at the 20th level?
I mean, Magic Missile's never that strong. It's basically just Magic Missile allows you to hit instead of making an AC roll. That's the
Okay.
beauty of the Magic Missile.
Careful there, man. We don't want to make too many enemies out of people who use Magic Missile.
But it's a first level spell. That's the problem.
But
Who's
it's one of the
using
best.
this? Just don't
Doesn't it
understand.
scale?
It only does if you cast it at a higher level.
There you go. It scales.
Yeah, but why would you use a 9th level spell slot for Magic
Okay, Ryan,
Missile?
process this with me. What does it do at 9th level if you cast it? Come on.
Okay, it casts with. Okay, so each dart does 1d4
Ryan
damage.
Kenneth speaking.
So Magic
Yeah,
Missile
okay.
does 3 glowing darts. Each dart does
Yeah.
1d4 plus 1 damage. It just hits. Okay, it just does.
Yeah.
At higher levels, each spell slot higher does 1 more dart.
Is that it?
That's it. So if you use your beloved 9th level spell slot on Magic Goddamn Missile, you're only doing
hold on.
12
Can I phone a
darts.
friend? I want to phone a friend. Kenneth,
Yeah,
put your butt in here.
he looks very
What's
animated.
going on, Kenneth? What are you saying? You're going crazy over there. Speak to me. I unmuted you. Ryan, you have to also unmute him. There you go.
9th level spell slot for 9d4 plus 9. 9, yes, it hits, but like, come on. Like, you could cast
9th
a
level
wish.
magic missile?
I just-
Wish?
I just don't understand
Meteor
why.
sword.
Yeah, why is the reflective carapace
Wish
even thought
Tarask be
of?
gone? Or magic missile
Also,
boy?
on the
It's a
Tarask,
waste.
it's just a big dumb creature. It has +9. It has +5 to int saves, +9 to charisma and wisdom saves. It doesn't it has a reflective carapace, yeah, but you can control it pretty easily. You can banish it pretty easily.
Yep.
It's immune to charm, but you can like banish it.
Oh,
It's just a
I'll charm it.
it's just a big
Swipe
dumb
right.
creature. I prefer if you're doing like if you really need a high level thing, use Tiamat instead of the
much better.
Tarrasque. Also, there's I can't remember what the adventure name is. But you like go inside of a Tarrasque and fight it from the inside.
Yeah, you've talked
And-
about it before, yeah.
Yeah.
With like a skeleton of a Tarrasque as well and all this cool jazz.
And it's
Ooh, Lich Tarrasque.
it's the Tarrasque is overrated, man. There's the meme where like the clay golem can beat a Tarrasque because it's immune and heals in acid, so it just slowly kills the Tarrasque and it won't die if it gets swallowed. It's a meme. The Tarrasque is just a meme. It's there for tradition, really. Like it's
the
not.
strongest boy. What are you talking
Well, it's not
about?
the strongest boy.
Actually, you know what? We didn't even cover my least favorite one.
We'll save it, man. Save it.
We'll save it. Oh,
If we're
you
doing
want to
another
find
one.
out about that, we'll do another one. Ryan, did you want to talk about another one, or are we stopping?
I mean, that's my big shit on one. I'll shit on one of the other ones. I mean,
All
it's cute for if you're doing a Tomb of Annihilation campaign or if you're going to Chult or something. But the basic dinosaurs in Monsters Manual,
Oh my god,
very basic and boring.
they were way
I-
weaker than I was expecting.
Yeah, they're no fun, man. And
I skipped over this,
it's-
guys. I was like, dumb.
It's sad that
going,
they didn't
bam.
play with them at least a little bit, like giving them some sort of like the plesiosaurus or these creatures that could have cool abilities are just almost like copy paste from the beasts at the end of the monster manual. It's a sad
Copy
day, but-
pasta. Yeah, dinosaurs are always kind of basic, man. Unless you're
Whoa.
in Magic the Gathering, then they
or
destroy
unless
everything.
you're watching Jurassic Park, dude.
My brother just watched that yesterday.
Good movie, man.
Yeah, depends on which
I
one.
heard
though.
the newest Jurassic World's gonna have one of the old actors in it, which I've stepped away from the Jurassic Park.
Jurassic
stuff.
World.
Well, okay, sorry. I have
It's
to
all
driven- I liked the first one just because it was cool to see a finalized park, and then it was like, okay, Chris Pratt's cool, but he
See-
can't save the movie for me.
No, you could do a little Jurassic Park like fun one shot.
You could, but everyone would be bored because the monsters suck.
That's true. You just gotta get some really good actors. That
You gotta homebrew
can. You gotta homebrew it. Make them super lich dinosaurs. Floating
Speaking of-
skulls.
Speaking of lit, dude,
Lit?
make sure you check out our social media stuff, man.
Good segue.
Thanks, man.
A
Our
segue is
social media is
at
pretty
Dungeon
lit.
Crawl Pod. You know, the at Dungeon Crawl Pod for the
Mhm.
Instagram and the Twitters. We are trying our best. We're going to be doing this to post any resources we talk about,
Yeah.
outside of like Player's Handbook or something like that. You guys know where to find that. Buy it, own it, etc. PDF, hardcover, whatever you want to do. If you want to keep up
D&D
with
Beyond.
us, when we do whatever. If we talk about DM's Guild stuff, you'll find it on our Twitter.
And
if you want to
as
hear,
well,
y'all,
it's in our Discord. Make sure you
we do have one of those.
pop in there. It's in the.
Oh, does the
description.
Discord link that you have in the description work? Because mine have
It
been
should.
not working.
Did you
All
use
right.
that one?
Maybe. No, probably not. I think I've
That's
made a
your-
couple of new links. And if you make
Well,
a
there's
new
your
link,
problem.
I don't. We'll see. I'll check it. I'll be the. You guys should check it for me. Hit the Discord link. Just let me know if it works.
Well, that's
You
how
can
everyone.
tweet
not
at me
everyone.
at Dungeon
The
Crawl Pod.
majority of people that are in our Discord have gotten in there from there.
It's getting popping. We've actually got a
It
couple of new
is?
people here. We're chatting.
It's
We talk.
poppin'.
One of our good viewers, J Dog, he makes some food.
Whoa,
Get some good
name
food
drop,
picks there.
dude.
Name dropping.
Get in here, J-Dog.
He supports us.
No, he's a
He
great
comes
dude.
to our streams. He does that.
Yeah, make
If
sure you
you-
shoot us an email.
Yeah, I was gonna say that next.
Oh,
That
okay.
was the
No,
next
go ahead.
part.
I don't want to steal your
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
man. Go
no,
ahead.
we're just on the same wavelength here, Ryan.
Yes,
the
man.
Gmail, if you're looking for that,
At-
is thedungeoncrawlpod@gmail.com.
There you go. Beautiful. Shoot us an email. Make sure you shoot us 5 stars on iTunes. Tell us who your least favorite monster is. And next week, I guess we'll finish this up. And we didn't have time to do it today, but in our Discord, speaking of Discord, we have a beautiful listener comments section. And
But yes,
we're going to talk about everyone's favorite monster, as well as if you want to shoot in what your least favorite monster is as well, so we can have some more shitty moods in here. That'd be great.
so just a quick update to you guys. Again,
what's
this
up,
was
man?
our 50th episode.
Happy 50, man.
We've had 50 of them.
We're over the
and,
hill.
This is not my blunder. The number's there on our Buzzsprout.
Well, it's
And
also
pretty
in the
soon,
description.
it is in the description. Pretty
Yeah.
soon. Do you know what we're going to be hitting, Ryan?
51
we're
episodes.
about to get. Well, that's true, but we're about to get to
Yeah.
about 5,000 of you guys pressing that play button on us.
Really? That's a lot of.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people, man.
A lot more people have been coming to listen, and we're super appreciative of it. And we're excited to get more people in the community because that's another big goal for us. We want to be able to chat
Yeah.
with you guys, learn more about D&D or any tabletop games you guys are interested in. If you want us to learn more about Pathfinder or something, jump in our Discord, talk to us about it, show us some resources.
Speaking of Pathfinder, our Twitter may have just tweeted it out that you guys should definitely go check
I
out.
did that.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a Humble
second
Bundle
edition,
thing in the Roo.
Yeah, the second edition of Pathfinder is on Humble Bundle right now. So if you want to get it for real cheap, the PDFs, and you can even get the core book for Pathfinder 2, like physical copy for $30 on Humble Bundle. Definitely go pick it up.
Quick little news segment here. Thanks everybody so much.
Yeah,
It's been-
why didn't we talk about that earlier?
I don't know. We were having a good time. We were chilling there.
Yeah, so
Take care, everybody.
I promise I'm not
We've
normally
been-
this
Oh.
much in a shitty mood.
Are you in a shitty mood?
No, I mean like I'm shitting on stuff today. Usually I love loving on stuff, man.
That's fine. I suggested this episode. Any of the episodes that are shitting on things, it's because I suggested it.
Yeah.
Sorry. So again, he's
Wait,
been Ryan.
Can we have one
Oh.
last goodbye from Kenneth?
All right, you're just gonna interrupt me again. Kenneth, get out of here.
Yeah,
Say goodbye.
We got to send him off with a hurrah.
That's been Ryan. That's been Braxton. I've been Kenneth.
Oh my god.
He's done
You
it.
just took my job. Why am I even here? Why are you guys here? I'll tell you why. Because we love you.
No, stop listening to us. Good. The podcast is over, dude. Leave.
Get out of here.